welcome back to my channel. Today we have a little bit of a different setting. Today we're going to talk about a very important principle that is also mentioned in the influence, the psychology of persuasion. So this is a principle that help you persuade people, that helps you persuade people in order for you to get what you want, okay? We are conditioned by society to reciprocate. Salespeople can apply it to you and you don't know. You're conditioned to buy certain things, or you are conditioned to do certain things because of this rule. So you master this art of interaction so that you can benefit from this principle on a professional and personal level. So what is the principle of reciprocation? I'm going to be looking down because I have some notes. So reciprocation is an extremely effective technique to stimulate a giving favor relationship and compliance. It works in a very straightforward way. What society has taught us since we were little is that you should repay in kind what another person has provided to you, okay? So it's a very, very old rule. Exists since the ancient times, okay? And for example, if a colleague invites you to a housewarming, it becomes for you an obligation to invite that very colleague to another gathering of yours. Or if somebody gives you a small gift or does you a favor, you feel somehow obligated to give it back. You have a certain pressure that comes from within, okay? This pressure comes from this belief system that we have, and that is society. Society has taught us to make sure you repay because it's ethical. It's something ethical, okay? So you should repay someone that has done you some sort of favor. If you don't, a regular person will feel bad. It starts to feel guilty of not repaying that very person. And I'm going to explain you how you can use it on your man if you're or somebody, you know, at work or anybody basically. But let me finish the theoretical part first, okay? Because this is a very basic psychological principle, but some people don't know, because not all of us, we're not psychologists, but people apply these rules all the time and you don't even know. So it's good that you know those things, okay? Be awake. Don't be asleep, all right? Like blue pill or red pill, like the Matrix. So the reciprocity rule is so strongly entrenched in our society that we become obliged to repay kindness with a much larger favor or gift. So when somebody gives you a small gift, you feel obliged to repay with a much bigger gift. So how can you use it with your man, for example? I tell you all the time not to give more than what you receive or give a lot, because a lot of women, we are givers. We are instructed by society to be kind at all time, to take all the bullshit, and to give without nothing in return. So what I'm trying to say is you should not give a man a big gift without him having committed to you or doing anything to you for you, okay? What I'm trying to say is when you show a little bit of kindness, so when you give or do something that doesn't even have to be expensive, something that is, I don't know, for example, you go and give a little cookie or a little thing, you know, it doesn't have to be big. It has to be a little small thing. That very person will feel like, oh my God, this person is so nice, is so kind. I kind of have to repay this person back 10 times more, because that's what we do as human beings. We tend to repay with a much bigger gift, the gifter, someone who was kind without wanting nothing in return, that very person that willingly decide to give, okay? So what I'm trying to say here is you don't have to give big gifts that are expensive, but maybe show with the little details that maybe you didn't actually, without maybe something that you didn't have to even buy, something that was a craft or something that you did. Like maybe you cook, right, a meal. I know I tell you don't cook for a man, but what I'm trying to say is bring a little cookie or bring a little thing, you know what I'm saying? Something small that is an act of kindness, something that is nice, of a nice nature, and that's gonna make the person want to give back 10 times more. Okay, ladies, so if you don't have any idea of what to get him, study the person. Is he into fitness? What does he like? If he's into fitness, for example, you can prepare him a smoothie, a protein shake, something nice and thoughtful, okay? You don't have to spend any money for it, okay? You can recycle a re-gift, a gift. You can just bring something that you already have in the house that you think is cute, that he's gonna like, something that has his pet name on it. If his pet name is Teddy, for instance, bring him a little teddy bear, a little stupid thing, okay? But if you don't have any idea, just go on Google and type affordable, small, thoughtful gifts for men. And or if you can't find anything, just go on my Amazon store. The link is in the description box down below. I created a list for you where you can see and purchase the gift for your man, basically. Oh, you can even give him a massage. And while I was on the internet, I found the massage with the old man, so I had to share it. Because under a feeling of obligations, individuals are much likely to say yes to a request. So when you do or a favor, even if a small favor to somebody, they will respond with a positive answer next time you ask something or you want something, because they feel like they owe you. So they have that inside, that fire that says like, oh my God, how can I repay this person? Okay, so for instance, if you ask for a much larger thing, they'll much rather say yes than no. Companies and businesses use this marketing strategy all the time. For example, free samples at the supermarket or at the store or even on the streets. I was a brand ambassador. I did a brand ambassador job and I know how it worked. I mean, long time ago. You know the brand ambassador, the one that you find on the street? Yeah, I've done that. Okay? So, or the ones that I was also a model, like, you know, the ones that give you the drinks. What's the name of that? Hostess. So basically what I was doing was going around giving free samples of Chivas Extra, Jameson, Corona. And what happened with that, not only you spread awareness of the brand, but also people feel like because you gave it a free sample or a free drink or whatever, they feel obliged to buy something from you. They feel obligated to give you something in return. That could be a tip, that could be anything basically. So, or you can find it at the restaurant. You know when they give you the receipt and at the end you have thank you written with a pen, or you have a little candy. That's basically a marketing strategy, okay? Because by looking at that note, people think, first of all, it's more human, okay? It's more relatable. And people think, oh my God, the waitress took time to write down thank you. It's so kind. I have to repay it. Or, oh my God, they give me a little candy. I have to kind of tip more, you know? So this is all marketing strategy, just so you know. There also is a second way to use the law of reciprocation, which is the law to persuade someone to comply with a request. It's called reciprocal concession, or the rejection then retreat technique. This technique is based on a very simple principle. You maximize your chances to receive a yes by first making a larger request that will most likely be turned down. And I explain you that in my past video, one of my past videos, okay? So after the refusal, you make a smaller request, which was actually what you was initially interested in. At this point, your conversation partner will likely be feeling as if you made a concession more reasonable and somehow did them a favor. Okay, therefore, they will feel the need to respond with a concession of their own, and the only option they have immediately available to them will be your second request or something close to it. All right, this was like the example I gave you of the Ferrari and the Range Rover. So the initial request is top high. I mean, you request something that you know that is out of the person's budget, or is something that the person is most likely not to agree to. So when the person rejects that, is going to come up with another offer that is a little bit lower, and is maybe, you know, what you really wanted. So if you want something here, and I'm not gonna judge you by the scale, like, I mean, it could be that your reasonable option or request is the Ferrari. It all depends on the person and who you're dealing with, okay? I'm just actually explaining with Ferrari and Range Rover are just an example. I'm just putting out there this because some people maybe don't understand what I'm trying to say. Is an example. It could be used on anything, okay? Anything. But you have to look at the person. Is this person able to comply with that type of request or not? I mean, if the request is too high, you know, you have to find the right person. And like I said, salespeople, they know by talking to the person who's who is willing to spend, who has money, who just blah 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 says they have money but they just want to show but they don't have much. The ones that don't show but they have, you know, they know all these things. Okay, so you have to be very, very good. So the example I made of the Ferrari and the Range Rover was in my past video. Was, if you want a Range Rover, go with the Ferrari, because the person will most likely say no to the Ferrari and try to go a little bit down, and you can negotiate the Range Rover. Okay, if you want a Ferrari, then go with something much more expensive than the Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? This is what salespeople do. This is what people in marketing and business, entrepreneur, they know these things, okay? Or even in retail stores, okay? Retail store selling practices are very, very easy. When you get into a store, the salesperson come to you with the most expensive item. They're not coming with the most inexpensive one. And the reason is because if you like that item, you agree to buy it, great. If you don't, they don't lose anything. You know, they can show you gradually the ones that is a little bit less expensive, or the one that is a little bit less expensive. You know what I mean? But the thing is, if they show you the most inexpensive, the cheapest item, then when they show you the most expensive item, that expensive item looks even more expensive than what it actually is. But if they show you the expensive item first, the cheapest or the middle expensive cheap item will look less pricey, less expensive, okay? So that's all sales. If you want to go on a nice vacation, show them the Sheraton or the Four Seasons, I don't know. Show something of quality so that you know that what you're gonna get later is not gonna be a dump, okay? You're not gonna go in the dump. Then what else? When you give a little gift, remember, small. It doesn't have to be expensive. It has to have somehow an emotional value for the person or for you. And I've told you this before. Give a little gift that is emotional, that make it seem as if you have put time and effort into it, even if it's not true. Even if you buy cookies at the store, make it seem as if it was coming from your hard work labor, okay? The person feels more obliged to give you back something, okay? That could be gift, purse, it could be anything that you want, okay? So knowing this, goodbye ladies. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, do all these things that are gonna help my channel grow, and I see you in my next video.